I beg you, Caesar, do not proceed.
My duty calls.
You must take this. They are calling for your protection. Read it quickly.
What will happen now? He looks troubled.
Et tu, brute?
Part 1. The Final Breath. March 15th, 44 BC. A strange quiet settled over the city of Rome, a stillness that felt unnatural, as if nature itself was holding its breath for the bloody chapter of history about to be written. Julius Caesar, the all-powerful dictator of Rome, prepared to leave his palace that morning. His wife, Calpurnia, had been tormented by a horrific nightmare the night before. She dreamt she held her husband's murdered body in her arms, his blood flowing through the streets of Rome. With tears in her eyes, she begged him not to go to the Senate. But Caesar, ever the pragmatist, gently dismissed her fears. Cowards die many times before their deaths, he told her. The valiant never taste of death but once. As Caesar made his way towards the Senate, the adoring crowds cheered his name. Yet within that sea of faces, some struggled to conceal their anxious excitement. Their eyes held a mixture of fear and grim determination. These were the faces of conspiracy. At the steps of the Senate, a teacher named Artemidorus pushed through the throng and pressed a small scroll into Caesar's hand. "Read this, Caesar," the man urged. "It concerns you deeply." But in the press of the crowd and the business of the day, Caesar simply pocketed the scroll, intending to read it later. That small scroll contained the names of every conspirator and the full details of their plot. Fate, it seems, was not to be so easily avoided. Caesar entered the grand hall of the Senate, where 60 senators awaited him. Among them was Marcus Junius Brutus, a man Caesar loved like a son and trusted above all others. Caesar had mentored Brutus, forgiven his past transgressions, and elevated him to a position of power. But on this day, the warmth of friendship was gone from Brutus's eyes. In its place was a steely resolve, a potent cocktail of fear and what he believed to be a solemn duty. Caesar took his seat, and as the proceedings began, the senators suddenly closed in around him. The first dagger struck from behind. A gasp of shock and pain escaped Caesar's lips. Then a second, and a third. The cold steel of betrayal plunged into his body again and again. The most devastating blow, however, was not from a blade, but from a look. As Caesar stumbled, he saw Brutus approaching with dagger in hand. Disbelief, hurt, and a profound sense of betrayal filled Caesar's eyes. With his last breath, he uttered the now immortal words, "Et tu, Brutus? You too, Brutus?" Then, as if accepting his fate, he fell. 23 stab wounds marked the end of Rome's most powerful man. His blood stained the marble floor at the foot of a statue of his former rival, Pompey the Great. Meanwhile, hundreds of miles away in a student's quarter in Greece, a young man named Octavian was lost in his studies. He was Caesar's grandnephew, and, through a will he was yet to learn of, his adopted son and heir. Octavian was filled with excitement, clutching a letter from his great-uncle summoning him to Rome. He did not know that the letter in his hand was the last he would ever receive from Caesar. He was also unaware that he was destined to build one of the most powerful empires in history upon the ashes of his great-uncle's republic. The sun set on Rome that day, casting long, bloody shadows across the city. But in that tragic twilight, a new dawn was waiting, a dawn that would illuminate the world for the next 500 years, a dawn that would bear the name of Augustus.